What is a genuinely terrifying true fact? I met a woman in the 90s, my girlfriend worked with her at a charity. Really nice lady, like your fave auntie type of person. I learned that she once had a child, a little boy. He only lived to be a few years old because one day while they were both playing in the garden, the boy picked up a snail and licked it. Can't remember if it was days or weeks later, but parasites had nested in his brain and eaten it from inside. What is more terrifying? That common snails can do this, or that your child can be lost so quickly and innocently while you are playing in the garden making memories. I will never forget that. I literally read about an outbreak of this in the southeastern US today. Wash the shit out of your veggies and don't eat snails and slugs. According to a bunch of sources, the parasites on snails account for 200,000 deaths a year worldwide. That's shocking. I got one, so years ago I started losing my balance and losing feeling in my legs. As they told me I had only about 5 more years to live, they did an MRI to see how bad the lesions were in my brain. They thought I had MS. So once I do the MRI, they're like, "You need to see an ENT ear, nose, and throat doctor right away." So I'm like, "Dude, tell me about the MS," and all they do is keep repeating, "Go to the ENT." So I go to the ENT and he explains they think I have a giant fungal growth taking up the entirety of my sinus cavities and pressing on my brain. So after medication, a super painful surgery where they had to break my nose and sinuses to get it out, medical stints that were made on a 3D printer using some hardened medicine, and about 4 months of healing, I was back to normalish. The horrifying part, the fungus comes from the feces of chickens and it is being introduced to the air by haulers moving chickens. Everyone in the US breathes in these spores regularly, but it mostly takes hold in people with compromised immune systems. Settling in the lungs is most common, and is often mistaken for lung cancer at first. And the scary kicker. 1. Fungal disease in humans is increasing with climate change. Warmth makes them easier to spread. 2. We do not have many good antifungal meds, i.e., antibiotics that kill mushrooms. We don't expect to find many because fungi are more closely related to mammals than are bacteria, so there are fewer things will kill fungi in a targeted manner without killing you. If you don't get enough calcium when you're pregnant, the fetus saps it right out of your bones, leaving you brittle and vulnerable to osteoporosis. My cousin's 25-year-old wife lost all her teeth while pregnant, despite taking vitamins, etc. Dentures at 25. Autoimmune diseases are hella scary. One day the system that was designed to protect you thinks your own cells are pathogenic and decides to attack you. Women are 8 times more likely to be murdered when they are pregnant. Former domestic violence counselor here. One of the leading causes of death in pregnant women is murder by intimate partner. You could literally be dead in the next 10 seconds. Aneurysm, embolism, heart attack, car crash, plane crash. Life is way too precious. Our brains will not hesitate to remove something that is vital to us to keep us alive by programming it to die. What sort of thing? For example, when you're freezing to death, your brain will shut off blood circulation to your fingers, toes, nose and ears, arms and legs so it can get all the blood to your body and head to keep them warm, even though you can't realistically function without these parts. That's why people who die from exposure are often found having taken off clothing. You suddenly feel very warm because your brain is freaking out. Out of everyone alive on Earth right now, there is someone who is suffering more than anyone else. There's someone being tortured right now. I hate how often I think about this. I guess this isn't terrifying, but the pillars of creation, that amazing feature in the Eagle Nebula that is super famous and amazing looking, doesn't exist anymore. It was wiped out by a supernova some 7,000 years ago, and given that it is 6,000 to 6,500 light years away, we can still see it, but in the next 500 to 1,000 years astronomers will no longer see it in the night sky. Though I assume they'll see a really amazing supernova which could equally be as awesome. Imagine spending your life at just the right moment in history that you can watch a supernova unfold and wipe out a massive 4 to 5 light-year tall iconic feature in our galaxy. With our lifespan increasing due to modern medicine, we are at an increased chance of developing dementia. After seeing a close family member slowly wither away, having machines basically keeping them alive and having zero quality of life, I never understood the purpose. We should prioritize quality, not quantity, and if someone is ready to go, have that conversation and let them make a decision. My loved one confided in me when he was lucid that he wanted it all to end. Wish I could have helped. We are currently in a mass extinction event. Not only are numerous species going extinct, but the rate is accelerating, exponentially. Edit for more clarity. This is the sixth, debatably seventh, mass extinction event, and while it's true that the previous ones were natural, there is an overwhelming amount of evidence to show that we are the cause of this one. Habitat destruction, deforestation, pollution, the introduction of non-native species, are all contributing factors. We've observed extinction rates skyrocketing the moment humans enter the picture. When watching old sitcoms, everyone on the laughter track is dead. People can die suddenly without warning or symptoms of anything significant to give warning. Source: lost my wife 4 years ago, when she was only 23, to a heart attack precipitated by non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. No symptoms or risk factors leading up to it. She was skinny, in shape, energetic, didn't use drugs. Just got home from work one day and she was gone. Very sorry for your loss. I had a buddy die from a brain aneurysm. 26 years old. In seemingly excellent health. Went to a business conference one day and was dead the next. Ever since, I have been terrified of aneurysms. Antibiotic treatments are becoming less and less effective, and common infections and minor injuries could become life-threatening. As someone that uses them at least once or twice a year, antibiotic resistance is genuinely terrifying to me. It's like bacterial infections becoming viral ones. Your bed has around 10 million dust mites. There's a theory that the reason we can't detect any life outside of ours is due to the fact that all intelligent life is inherently self-destructive. It will crumble too fast for two separate species to be technologically advanced enough to communicate their existence to the universe. I mean, the closest star to us, other than the Sun, is Alpha Centauri. It's 3 light-years away. That means that with our current technology, it would take something on the order of 10,000 years to reach it. And that's in our backyard. Distances in our universe are mind-numbingly vast, and there's a really high probability that, even if there are other intelligent and technologically proficient species, our universe is so big that frequent interstellar travel is all but impossible. That we need some way to replicate the ambient noise of the Earth for extended stays in space. I'm not talking of cities, cars, etc., the ambient seismic noise the Earth creates. Why? Because humans are so reliant on the noise that if we don't hear it we become more anxious. It's already a problem on the list of problems for astronauts who stay for long periods on the ISS. Can you elaborate? What seismic noise do you mean? The ambient seismic noise is the sound of natural Earth processes, wind blowing, waves crashing against the shore, the micro-movements of rocks, rain, thunder, animals walking on the ground, people, etc. All of this generates a low-frequency ambient noise that you miss when it's not there. 40% of prostitutes in India are children. That fucking sucks. A wandering black hole could just end our entire solar system. Our universe may actually be inside of a black hole according to black hole cosmology. Mosquitoes have killed half of all humans who have ever lived. Just saying, if we kill all blood-sucking mosquitoes, not all of them do, what would be the damage to the ecosystem? Some scientists have argued that we can remove disease-spreading mosquitoes without damaging any ecosystems. They would do this by genetically engineering mosquitoes to be infertile. I don't know the details. In about 150 years from now, who you are and the life you lived will be forgotten by those that will be alive in 2173. Don't believe me? Then tell me about your great-great-grandparents and what they were like. My great-great-grandparents didn't have social media for me to stalk though. The ovaries are not attached to the fallopian tubes. They actually yeet the egg across a small void, and the fallopian tube shoos it in the door with little flanges. Because of this gap, while rare, it is possible for a fertilized egg to escape into the abdominal cavity and attach itself to other organs. The bladder, the liver, anything really. And because embryos are very innovative parasites that excel at evading the carrier's immune system, they can develop and wreak havoc. On that same note, the void also allows sperm to escape and swim around in the abdominal cavity until they die 5 to 7 days later. While harmless, It's still a little disturbing to think about having sperm in your guts, I'd imagine. If you want something even more freaky, look up stone fetuses. Basically, if a fetus escapes into the abdominal cavity, there is an exceptionally rare chance that it calcifies into a stone-like substance, and can just remain in the body almost indefinitely. There are very few cases of this, but most of them were found in 50 to 70-year-old women during cancer tests and X-rays. The pictures are really creepy. Pineapples contain an enzyme that dissolves flesh, so this begs the real question. Who is eating who? You don't really feel it unless you eat a whole pineapple. Source: someone that ate 2 whole pineapples. When electricity was first made available for home use, the wires were not insulated and not hidden behind walls. People had live wires freestanding in their homes, at an arm's reach. Utter terrifying insanity. There's no way to actually communicate your experiences to anyone. When you talk to someone, all they get are the words, and must then translate them in terms of their own pre-existing knowledge and experiences. Your brain eats itself because of a lack of sleep. Remember to sleep, people. What is a genuinely terrifying true fact? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.